In this video, we will talk about how to deploy AD domain to Sangfor VDI. There are 3 steps to deploy AD domain into VDI, which is AD user creation, configure ldap authentication on VDC, and create resource and join the VM to the domain. To create AD user, go to Active Directory Users and Computers, create a new organization unit under the domain as the figure below. Then, create users under the organization unit created just now as figure below. To create AD user, go to AD Server, Windows, Active Directory Users and Computers, right-click on the domain, click New. Organizational unit, and type in the name. Then, right-click the organizational unit created just now. Click New, then User. Fill in the user details. Logon name, password, and then click Finish. To configure ldap authentication, go to VDI Options, Authentication and click Settings button beside the ldap options as figured below. After that, click New button, then enter server name. Click the green button beside the box of server address to add the server IP. Default proxy is 389, as figured below. Then, enter the admin DN and password as figured below. Note, for example, the server administrator account is admin and the domain name is test, then for the admin DN path is admin@test. Click on the button beside the box of base DN, then select the organization structure of the user on the domain, and click Save button to complete the configuration as figured below. After that, go to VDI Options, Users, New, Group, enter name of the group. Uncheck the Inherit Parent Group's attributes. On Authentication setting, choose External ldap radius, and choose the authentication method that created just now as figure below. Then, go to VDI Options, Authentication, choose the authentication method created just now and click on the Import Users button as figure below. Click on the Browse button beside the box of imported OU, then choose the users recursively and the OU that created just now. Click the button beside the box of imported to choose the user group that create just now. For the user group and import you can change depends on the requirement. If schedule import is required, click on the Enable Schedule Import checkbox. The parameter can change according to the requirement. Click on the Save and Import Now button. Users on domain will synchronize to user group. Go to VDI Options, Users, choose the user group and check whether domain users has been synchronized or not. Go to Authentication under VDI Options and press Settings at ldap. After that, press New. Fill in the details of the server. Server name can be any name you like. Server address is the IP address of the server. Admin DN path is the server administrator account at server domain name. Password will be the password of the server. In base DN, click on the button beside the box, then select the domain of the user and the organization unit created just now. Other settings can leave as default. Then click Save. Once it's done you can see your new ldap server. Remember to click the Apply button at the top right. Then, go to Users. Click New at the top, and press Group. The name can be any name. Press the button beside the box of Added To, then choose the root. Untick the Inherit Parent Group's attribute. In the primary authentication, tick External ldap radius. Then press Save. After that, go to Authentication, ldap Settings, tick the ldap server created just now, and press on the Import Users above. Click Browse beside Imported OU, and tick on the group created just now. Then click the button beside the Imported to box. Here choose the group created just now. The schedule import can also be enabled. Then click Save and Import Now. Go back to VDI Options, Users, and under the group created just now, will display the user and the AD server. To join the VM to the domain, go to VDI Options, Users, choose the group and click on View Edit Attributes. After that on Assigned Roles, click on Create and Associate to create a new role. Enter the information, then click on the Select Resource button to choose the resource that created just now. Press Save button to save and create the role. After role has been created and selected, click the Save button to save the group attributes. Go to VDI Options, Virtualization Platform, Virtual Machines, choose these VM created just now, then click on the Power On button to power on VM. After these VM powered on, and the status become green color, then select these VM again and click on the batch operation, set IP address. Note, the status become green means the agent status is normal. Assign IP for VM. You can specify IP or specify DHCP on a VDC or manually configure static IP for VM. In this scenario, batch operation method is used to assign IP for VM. After IP address has been specified, the VM needs to be restarted, so the Restart VM Now checkbox must be checked. Note, in order to join VM to domain, required the VM IP able to ping domain server's domain name. VM must be able to resolve the domain name. Domain server also can ping to the VM. Modify the corresponding resources. Go to VDI Options, Resources and click on the resources. On Domain and SSO, click on Join VM to AD domain and fill in the server details. Then, click on the Auto Login to PC, then choose Domain User and fill in server domain name and check on the login as domain user. Lastly, you can click on the Test Connection button to test the connectivity. Note, the admin CN is administrator account of the domain server, doesn't need to add a domain name. Example, if the server administrator account is admin and the domain name is test.local, then admin CN is admin. Open VDI client, enter the domain username and password to login. After login, you will able to see the resource and click on T-resource, then will be able to log in to the VM. After login to the VM, you can check whether the VM is joined to the VM or not. Go to domain server, under computer group check whether the VM has been added to the computer list or not. If yes, means that the VM has successfully joined the domain. To join the VM to the domain, go to Users. Click the group created just now and click View Attribute. Under Assigned Roles, click on Create and Associate. Type in any name and choose any area. Then under Select Resources, choose the resources that contain the VM created. After that, click Save once the configuration is done. Click on Virtual Machine. Tick the VM created just now and click Batch Operation, then set IP address for the VM. And tick Restart VM to take effect immediately. After that, go to Resources. Click on the resources created just now. Click Domain and SSO, and tick Join VM to AD domain, then click Test Connectivity to check connection to AD domain is successful, and tick Auto Login to PC, and choose Domain User, then press Save. Log into ADesk. Here you can see that the virtual machine build test has been deployed. Log into the virtual machine. Go to this PC. Right-click on this PC, and click Properties. Here you will see the domain name has been set. After that, in your AD server, go to Active Directory Users and Computers. Under Computers, they will show the computer that is connected. In the end of this tutorial, we have learned on How to create AD user. How to configure LDAP authentication on VDC. How to create resource and join the VM to the domain. Thank you for watching.